Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laura, and I'm a head of Vietnam at Avalab. Pleasure to be here today. And please welcome to the stage our panelists, Mo from IT Foundations, Chyi from Polygon Lab, Daphne from Viction, Christina from READYgg, and Patikorn from Bitcoin Addict. Thank you. So, hi everyone, and again, thank you all of our panelists for being here today and spend your time. And probably we are one of the most crowded panel, I will say, in a good way. So to start with, probably maybe it would be good if we can introduce a little bit about yourself, where you're from and what project you are working on. And this is what I normally do, which is like I'll talk to a startup. You will have the elevator pitch for 1 minute. So, we got a timer right there. So make sure that you finish everything within like 1 minute. So start with, this is something I love as well. So I can choose whoever I want to start with. So maybe Christina, since you just like feel here, right? And it's like very tiring, but still come here for the event. So start with you first.
Okay, awesome. So I'm Christina. I'm one of the founders of READYgg. Essentially what we are is a game development layer 3. Who's our community? Our community are developers first, building games on chain. But most interestingly, I think our sweet spot is really enabling Web2 developers to enter the Web3 space. We have over, I think, close to 40 mid-core studios right now, really important IP that's migrating on-chain. And on the player side, we're looking to hit about 9 million monthly active wallets or players, essentially in the next few weeks if everything goes on track.
Very good, Christina, within the time frame. So the next one probably like Daphne from Viction. Yeah.
Yeah, hello everyone. Sawadika. Yeah, so first of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone here, and I would like to express my honor to be sitting here with you guys. So let me introduce a little bit about myself. So my name is Daphne. Currently, I am the core contributor in Viction. So actually, Viction, formerly Tomochain, is one of the earliest blockchain in Vietnam, and we are layer 1 EVM compatible chain. And for the Viction deck, I think that yesterday we just announced our new vision as a worldwide chain. So in this new vision, we want to solve 3 problems. The first one, that we want to bring the hyperscalability for the app chain. The second one, that when you launch your blockchain on Viction, you can use your token as a native token, the gas token. And the last but not least, that we want to have simplify the liquidity and also enable the seamless transaction over the ecosystem. So that's the 3 main things that I want to highlight about Viction. Yeah, thank you.
Got it. Very rushed at the end, but yeah, you did a good job. And Patikorn.
All right. Hi. Okay. Hi, I'm Patikorn Trethasayuth. So you guys can call me Gan, my nickname. So yeah, I'm a CEO of READYgg Thailand. We are like the largest media and community here in Thailand. And first of all, our name is READYgg. We are the general media talking about all of the cryptos, not just Bitcoin. But back then, because Bitcoin was just a legit coin, so we take the name READYgg. But yeah, anyways, we are here since 2017, which we've been taking people on hopping onto different trends like ICOs, farming on DeFi, and playing on a lot of different protocols back then. And yeah, right now, our standpoint would be pushing and helping adoption of crypto adoption through information and educations.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, really good one. Yeah, I got everything needed. I remember that quote on the Twitter as well.
Thank you.
So the biggest one. Yeah, and then next one was probably more.
So, hello everyone, my name is Mo. I am with the Ethereum Foundation, specifically a group called the PSC, so Privacy, Scalability and Exploration. A lot of our efforts are focused on public goods, advancing the Ethereum ecosystem with a focus on advanced cryptographic technologies like ZK, MPC, and FHE. And within those bounds, we do a number of different initiatives which are deeply connected to the community, educational initiatives, research, and so forth. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, that's good. Shorter than the time expected. Very good. Yeah, and the last one. So you had all of the time needed, so you probably can do more if you want.
Sure, I'll enjoy my time then. hopefully the last will be the best. But yeah, my name is Hshieh. You can call me CY. I'm the head of business development for Southeast Asia in Polygon Labs. I think quite similar to my fellow panelists on this panel itself. I think the focus of Polygon Labs is definitely looking at accelerating adoptions in the blockchain space, starting off with scaling Ethereum and also working with various, IPs, developer studios to actually solve various use cases. So we had the chance to work with, I would say, across various verticals, be it from financial institutions all the way to Web3 gaming or Web3 natives, be it on DApp and SocialFi. So this is kind of where we focus on. And I think very similar to what Christina said, I think the focus of our community or the core essence of our community lies in our developers itself. Yeah.
Right. Got it. And thank you, Won, for that. So since the topic of the panel today, which is like the key success factor in Web3, managing and building community in Southeast Asia. So the next question for me, probably to all of our panelists, before I go deep inside like each of the community, is gonna be like, tell me a bit more about your community. I'm sure you just mentioned a little bit earlier, but probably like you can explain a little bit more. And then how big is the community? What is the principle of building your community? So this time I probably just like take from, right to the left. So start with Mo first, with the foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, so for us, every EVM chain, every developer, every researcher, every user, that's a very large community that we are constantly thinking about. So that's basically kind of the overall community that we care about. But the specific division that I work in, which is the PSE, we really do focus on researchers and pushing the technical boundaries of the Ethereum ecosystem. So unlike many other projects where you're concerned with like users, retail users, we are very much focused on the developer community. So we host hackathons, we have educational initiatives to kind of create new researchers and basically really support the technical community, since those are the ones that help build out the ecosystem and kind of push the ecosystem forward. So that's basically us.
Yeah.
Although that's a little bit debatable in terms of like other community only focus on the retail instead of developer, but I take that answer for now. And then yes.
Yeah, no, I think actually for Polygon Labs, we are actually very similar to what Ethereum Foundation is doing. So obviously we will start off with developers, and obviously from developers itself, we'll see projects as well. And where we see the need for us in terms of community building is providing the tools and resources needed for such projects to be able to achieve their goals. Because ultimately, from our perspective, this is an ecosystem effect that we're trying to achieve. If we can enable the developers, the projects to be able to build what they want to build, that brings utility value down to the users, which also creates the cycle to create more, I would say, explorations for projects to go for. So yeah, this is where we see in terms of community building too. Yeah.
Got it. And then Christina?
Yeah, so for us, obviously, we're building for developers, for they themselves to build for their own community, which is players. So organically, our community is also players. Part of what our responsibility is just demonstrating to the player base that everything we're building is really to encourage ownership of everything that they do, not only own, but literally that they do on chain, and showing them that Web3 gaming is really just about, again, bringing ownership, but also elevating community. And for gamers, community is essentially for, a lot of gamers why they play. It's not only the IP, it's not only the game, it's not only how much fun they're having in the game, but it is that connectivity to the community of either that game or that ecosystem. So we are building, so our main community is definitely developers. And as CY was saying, we are there to build for them to reach their goals and innovate. And then organically, our community is the players, because the players really are the ones that are going to elevate these games and essentially, elevate really the gaming community that we're building, or all of us are integrating it to.
Yeah. So if I get it, what you're saying right now is that you want to be a little bit more like comprehensive community, right? It's not just like player, but also like, like ecosystems around that, the people who hang out with these players, right? So yes, like that. And how about like Daphne?
So that for blockchain, we also have the builder developer community, also have the retailer community, and also have the holder community, right? So I think you guys already mentioned a lot about the principle to build the builder community. So maybe I will mention about retailer community. So actually, I think we don't have any fixed principle to build a community because building community require the flexibility. So I think it depends on the stage or the nature of the community. So they will have the specific need and desire. However, in Viction, so we usually apply this models I want to share with you guys. And actually, this model was inspired by our co-founder, Mr. Lê Thanh. He also already built the NightTech ecosystem before. So in this principle, we want to divide it into three things. The first thing about you need to have the core value. So I think for a sustainable community, you need to define, for example, who they are, what they stand for, or what is it. For example, in Viction, so we want to recruit the long-term community user because they want them to connect, to grow, to get the wealthy together. The second thing is about the experience. So as a community leader, you need to stand at the point of the community user. For example, what kind of activity or experience they want to the community. So from that, you can decide a really scheme, also the activity that the community user really want. And last but not least, I think this is the fundamental one, like the operational elements. For example, from the first time when you had the core value and also the experience, you need to align with your vision. And from that, you also need to talk to your community user about your rule. For example, what is the don't or do principle in your community? How is the decision is made in your community? So I think those are the factors that we usually apply to build the community for our retailers.
Got it. And then the last one, Patikorn, probably most interesting with the media compared with, infrastructure on this side. You're a bit outstanding, different. So yes, tell us more.
Sure. First of all, I think Daphne mentioned a lot of things about building communities already, which is like a core value or thing that we should follow on the culture side and a set of rules and the reason why people are here. But okay, back to the Bitcoin side, right? I think from our standpoint, it's quite different from a lot of people's here, since we are more of like the medias and community, which looking at it, we are like a last line of communication or somehow front line of adoption in terms of new users who come in. So we stand for people who came into into the space, wanted to learn, new people who wanted to understand more about cryptos. So on our end, by being a medias, we really focus on the heavily on the informations and the education, because we felt that first of all, it's international markets, and Thailand, there's a lot of language barriers in here, which we have to do a lot of localized sessions. And the second one would be the difficulties to understand the blockchain and what's happening in the space to the newcomers who is coming in space. So what we highly value would be more on the educational information side. And also we wanted to help, as a media and community, we wanted to help them to grasp the opportunities that happening in the crypto space as well.
Got it. I really like that part when you mentioned about localization, and I think that is really true for this part of the world, right? Even in South Asia, and right now we're speaking English, but then each country will have a different group, and then by localization, I really think that will be the good way to bridge the, I would say, Web 2, Web 2.5 to Web 3, and so on. Who knows?
Even some Web 3s are still have, even some Web 3 OGs still have the language barriers then.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's just like the really important role of the local player here. So probably for the next one, I think that here we had a very interesting panel because we got chains, and then we got like gaming infrastructure, and then we also got a media, and then we also got like someone who already like established foundation, have been in the market for a while, and we have someone like is new and then from like a kind of rebrandings. And so probably for each of the panelists, I will have one question very specifically to your foundation or like your organizations. So probably start with the let's start with, I don't want to say the old first, but let's just say like start with long established community first, more. So it's very very careful with the word here. So how to build the community from the early day when everyone is relatively new about Web3 and how to keep its hype? Yeah, probably something you want to share with the audience here.
Yeah, so the Ethereum Foundation, the Ethereum ecosystem started as a grassroots movement It was always about some fundamental principles that we still hold today, which is like empowerment and subtraction. And when we think about empowerment, what that means is that you got to give people the tools, the reasons to take part in this ecosystem, to build on it. So we've done that through a number of different ways. We have, as I mentioned, some educational initiatives. We have open forum where people can come and talk to us, where people can engage with us. We have the EIPs, the Ethereum Improvement Protocol proposal. So anyone in the world can take part and basically propose an improvement to the ecosystem. So for us, that all those different initiatives that we do is to give people that want to take part the resources to do so. The second thing, and this is really important with the community, is also shared values, right? So we have designed the way that we interact with the community in a way where if you care about decentralization, privacy, you care about public goods, then you will naturally gravitate towards some of the work that we're doing. And that acts as a perfect filter because not everyone does care about that. So for us, that's the second thing. And the third, which is really important, and it kind of goes hand in hand with empowerment, is subtraction. So we have this concept where we don't want to come into a community and like build them up and then have it so they're totally reliant on us. That's not scalable. What we really care about is giving people the education, the tools, so that they can then take care of themselves as we slowly kind of take ourselves away from those core programs. So that's kind of like the things that we think about when we talk about growing a community. And now, if you think about how long the Ethereum Foundation has been around, those core principles have not changed. It's been over a decade, and they're just as strong now as they were back then, and the community is, all the better for it.
Got it. Yeah, thank you for the sharing. So it's based on what you mentioned, it seems that the way for the long established community to build and keep it high is that for those principles that you build and how you build the community at the beginning. So you try to stick to that and then focus a lot way more on education and continue education, if I get it right.
Yeah, I mean, it's with any organization. We're public goods, we're a non-profit, but even if you're running a startup or a company, which I've done in the past, those core values are the most important things, right? There's nothing, like an organization is nothing more than the people that are there. So you need to focus on that, and then the rest of it will take care of itself.
Yeah, got it. Which is like in corporate world, people say like, you need a mission and vision for a startup or like for a corporate before you can move on. Yeah, that's interesting, even the foundation, from foundation perspective. So the next one probably go with Polygon Labs, Chyi. So, like in Web3 and crypto, the partnership could be useful, but community may not understanding what is the mission and vision behind yet. So how do you manage the community expectations when it's come about the partnership?
Yeah, thanks so much for asking this question. I think you're right that, partnerships is kind of like, I would say both a blessing and a curse in the same place, because I think at the early stage of our industry itself, there's a lot of need for us to really have the justification for the technology itself, as well as to validate the use cases such that users as well as developers understand where the direction is going towards. Hence, I would say that that's the importance of partnership, to kind of set that trust anchor, that precedence, such that people can recognize that these are viable. So I think that's the good part of things. The challenging part of things is that often in our pursuit of opening up various use cases, things can be much more complex than what general community may understand. It may not be as relevant for specific communities even. So for example, innovation in Web3 gaming may not appeal to institutions, while vice versa, it matters the same way. So I think the important part of how we have been trying to address, I think in fact, in terms of partnership that we announce, as you may know, we do announce quite a few, I would say, precedents as well as partnerships in various verticals. The challenge is how do we simplify this message across our users such that they know what is the exact value, utility they may achieve from such use cases. So I think that's the part where tools such as even spaces, AMAs are very important when it comes to our project level to interact with their users, as well as having that feedback for itself to refine their products. And likewise, I think when it comes to developers itself, how do we get the latest technologies, latest upgrades, latest initiative for everyone to be aligned, as well as to be able to contribute to the greater growth of the ecosystem. So hence, I think that's the reason why open communications having the ability to be able to engage different niche group at the same time is an effective way for us to be able to grow the community in a scalable fashion. Yeah.
Got it. I suddenly got like really some idea just suddenly come out of my mind that probably would be good that you work with like Bitcoin Addict because of what they do in your localization, right? And also like simplify the message so that it can come to the user easier, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. I think even with so many years of development in the space, education is still very important for us to actually engage developers and users because the technology itself moves very fast. So how do we get everyone up to speed at the same time? Yeah.
Yeah, with this, I would like to declare that I am not the salesperson for Bitcoin. I just like try to promote here. Yeah, so probably the next one, since we're talking about the chain still, I probably, Christina, I pass you a little bit. I go directly to Victions, Daphne. So the startup like Viction, as you mentioned, is a little bit unique where you have the community and then after that you acquire another chains and then Viction is just launched recently. So question is that how to re-engage or like recruit the new members for the community?
Yeah, so I think it's a really interesting question, but really hard, right? So yes,
I don't try to make it hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vision formally is Stormchain. Actually, we established the community in 2018. And just last year, 98 invest into Vision, and we just rebranded last year. So actually, first of all, I feel very gratitude that although that we really 6 years with the community, but actually the community member will always stay there. They don't leave us when we rebrand to Vision. However, we cannot stop there because the vision, the new vision that we just announced yesterday, like Vision Worldwide Chain, you can see that it's really big, right? So we need to expand our community, not in terms of the builder or developer, but also in terms of the community retailers. Okay, so actually most of our principle animation that I was inspired from our co-founder in 98, Mr. Lê Thanh. So some of the fun facts like in 98 ecosystem, we also start from a small community in 2017. And in the first 2 years, actually Thanh already spent the time with the community, like he conduct the one con with the community member almost every day in the beginning of the 2 years of the community. And I was really inspired by that because at the first time he wanted to realize the high quality member in his community. So we also want to apply this kind of strategy in Vision community. So when we just rebrand into Vision, the first thing we do is we want to identify the high quality member. We build the core team, the community team. After that, the core team will recruit the Vision Vanguard ambassador, and everything will begin with a really simple thing, like we had a group with just 50 people at the first time, like the core team community at this time. And from this core team, they spend most of the time with the community. They chat with the team members, we chat with the community. So I think that they can realize who is the active one in the community and who is the developer or the family reward. Yeah, so after that, we can also receive the feedback and also the insight from this core team. And we also create the structure. In this structure, I think that the people just join the Discord, they also have the title and they also have the benefit. And we also have many titles like this. And from the beginning, they can try their best to be level up in the structure. And I think that the high quality member will go really fast in the structure and and soon there will be the core team member of Viction. And one more thing that we really work closely with the core team member at the first time, we receive feedback from them. So we design on the community activity really close with the community member. We ensure that the community member be respected, be heard, and also be rewarded because they spend time and also the value with us. And the last but not least, that we always have the incentive for the community member to organize their own community activity for Viction. We provide the guidance for them and also promote the activity to the community. So this is some strategy that we also do to retain the engagement and also recruit new members.
Right, so I like that she go really in detail, step by step. And there's something I noticed that both of you didn't mention anything about the founder, but she keep mentioning her founder in every single question that she answered, right?
Yes,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
This is another level of the extremely lawyer. So next one. So move away from the chains a little bit. So Christina, for READYgg, I hope I say it right. How to build a community as a Web3 game and dApp creator economy and build the brand awareness.
Yes. So we're definitely incredibly bullish on just the creator economy and how we think that is going to be a major driver of scale in Web3 gaming. I'll kind of pull out a bit of stats because I think stats always give a little bit of foundation. But in Southeast Asia, 66%, well, closer to 70% of revenue comes from mobile gaming.
Oh, wow.
So almost 70% literally comes from mobile games. Now, again, I think we should have more mobile games coming into the Web3 space if we want more scale. Something else that's really interesting about Southeast Asia is that if we take Vietnam and Thailand, for example, over 50% of the gamers actually have said that they use content creators to determine what games to play and what communities to join in gaming. That's pretty significant. So when I look at the creator economy, I kind of have to decide, well, how do I enable that? And then let's go on the development side. So on the development side in Web 2, one of the things that is, kind of hindered the gaming community or games in general was the concept of a game shop. Game shops are on Google or on Play Store. Developers don't actually manage it. Everything sold in these shops are not actually owned. They're just these kind of spaces in which transactions happen, and then the transactions sort of enable things in the games. Now let's move on to Web 3 instead. Web 3 welcomes the marketplace. The marketplace is literally what we have been missing, in part, in games. And the reason for that is that it's actually an enabler of the community and the story of the game. So marketplaces is where the developer, for the first time, can truly sell to the player, can truly discuss and be very close to the player, and where the player now has a space where they can sell what they own, they can rent out what they own, and they can literally engage in the story of the game through the marketplace itself. Now, how do you heighten that even more? You enable the creator economy. So this is where now developers can welcome with open arms players to become creators and literally have them help them tell the story of the game by building content, by building various assets in the game, by giving their own representation of the IP that they love and follow. And that's where I'm most excited about, because I think when we enable mobile gaming, when we enable the creator economy, even in mobile games, where literally a 13-year-old girl in Indonesia on a low-end Android phone can create a collection, sell it in their favorite game, and have people follow her for it, I think that's what essentially Web3 gaming will enable, and that's what I'm most excited about.
Got it. So, the way that you view about that is that, the creator economy, or let's say creator group, is kind of empower more people to Web3 and so on. Yeah. Okay. Got it. That's interesting, and I agree with that. So the last one, probably Patikorn's very patient on the other side. So a lot of news in the Web3 space, probably 24/7s, and then as the largest crypto media and community code on Twitter. I checked your Twitter. So the way that you approach the market in Thailand and South Asia, what is the similarities and what is the differences for you?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, I wanted to go back on how READYgg started, right? So as a media, I felt that the pain point of the community and the media, the community in Thailand was that there's the language barriers, and also the information lackage that people that haven't been getting on to understand cryptos. I think that's the point that we started. But coming back to the different and similarities, right? So yeah, so I felt like in general, I don't think a lot of people who are in crypto space in the C areas are quite different in in the way that they join cryptos or how to manage how to build and manage the communities. Because I think generally because of the cultures, we are quite similar with the culture, the language, and the way we live our life. So I think that's the fundamental thing that is the same thing. But the different, I would say, it would be the interest or the passion on cryptos, or even risk tolerance and investment the appetite of the investment. That's what they are really interested on, and that's the difference. Cause I feel like basically everyone in cryptos in Southeast Asia, they really have the same vibe of like how they look into cryptos. Usually from the perspective of communities and medias, we are like the last line of communication from the projects to the communities. On that, and then on the other side, we are the communities there who just started to know cryptos. The thing that they are looking for would be the truth is that they are looking for more of the investment opportunities and what they can do more, what they can explore more, or what they can even be more in the space. That's the thing that they are looking for. So I think this is the same thing and the same key with all non projects communities, general community that they are looking for and looking into. So this is the thing this is the same that drive all the communities here. But the real difference, I would say, it would be more on the user behavior and the language barriers on how they communicate or what social media or what platform they are using. That's the difference I felt. So, but the other difference, I would say, it would be on the interest on the projects and the sector as well. Because in Thailand, for example, we have a lot of interest in different projects and sectors. And I think Thailand was one of the communities that has a lot of growth in the last bull run, because we do have a lot of interest in different sectors. Like let's say back in the last bull run when there's a DeFi popping up, a lot of people been jumping onto DeFi and farming on the different protocols, hopping from one chain to the other chains, and then been trying on new DApps and everything. But when NFT came out, the new sector of people who jumped in and came in as well, and they wanted to join the NFT ride. And even so, with the timing and everything, because of the fundamental of Thailand that there's a certain amount of artists and creators in the space already, those people, they did come and create their own NFTs and then create their own art and make it and sell it. So they are the one who get grab opportunity here as well. So this also came back from the fundamental that there is this kind of thing that is available in Thailand. What else? Gaming, GameFi. People been jumping to GameFi as well because there's a lot of gamers in Thailand. So I think this is really the keys on what is the interest of the people in the communities. We gotta look back a bit on how they spend their life and what is the background of people there, and then that's the part that would get interest by the people because they kind of already have knowledge and experience about it, and they want to jump on. So generally, I would say mostly there's a lot of similarities here in the space, but the difference would be the user behavior, language, and also the background, the way they live their life, the thing that they've been consuming along the way since they were born in their countries, and what they know about.
Okay, got it. So if I get it right, so the similarities that since we are in this part of the world, weather-wise, actually I just read a research recently say like literally the weather is gonna impact on how you behave, right? So as a like human being, so the similarity is that with this part of the world, so we have a certain part similar, but the localizations and the behavior could be a bit different.
Quite different, yeah. I would say, and it gives a lot of fundamentals to the people living in each country too, on how they consume or how they understand stuff there.
Right. Okay. Got it. Yes. So with that, we have 1 minute left. So I'm gonna do two things. One is that thanks all of the panelists today for being here, and then for sharing your story, your journeys, and how do you with the community. The second one is just a testing. So I'm gonna take a selfie on the stage with all of you right now, and then after that, I tag your community to see like which one is the strongest one. So easy. So hope you can. I just take a picture before we get off the stage. And thank everyone for being here today. And I hope that you got like the meaningful and insightful conversation from us.
Right.